Christ, where to begin with this one? See, my problem here is that I don't know which of two attitudes I should take with this game. Should I go for the, well, you should take it for what it is and leave it at that, in which case this game is sort of alright approach? Or should I go for the, stay away from this game because despite its charming look and goofy approach, this game will most likely do the same amount of damage to your body as smoking 50 smokes in 30 seconds? Upon consideration, I think I'm going to go with the first approach, and in a nutshell, I'll be talking about this game in a, well, for all of you out there that are attending this press conference and want the latest scoop on this one, then out of respect for this game, I'm going to leg it out of the room before anyone gets an opportunity to ask any questions. Sort of way. Is this game bad? No, not really. Is this game good? Again, no, not really. And I'd hate to have to say anything that will piss off the Suda51 Stalkers Anonymous Association, but really, this game isn't all that. This is the second Suda game I played, the first being Lollipop Chainsaw, and whilst I found that game mostly entertaining and definitely amusing in a slapstick and very over-the-top kind of sense, I didn't think that it deserved a cult following. Whereas this game, in my own opinion, so no getting angry, okay, isn't as good, so do the math. Well, usually about now I announce the name of the game, but seeing as the title of this video already did that, I guess there's no need. You see, the biggest issue I have with this game is that I'm not getting any sense of chronology. Like, all of the events in this game are random and not connected in any way. There's no connectivity. Well, there is, it's in there somewhere, but I'm just not seeing it. I really had to work hard to make myself appreciate any part of this game. It's work. Hard work. Might as well be a job. This game, it's a job. The job? Killer Is Dead. Killer Is Dead is a hack and slash, or beat 'em up, whatever the grammar Nazis believe the genre is called nowadays, and you play the part of Mondo Zappa. I wish I was making that up! A hitman who's working for a state-sanctioned assassination department, which is about as believable as saying that the Pope be balling. Now before we continue, you must keep one thing in mind about this game, and that is that it's not supposed to be taken seriously. That's paramount if you want to get anything out of it, so please bear with me. The Moragatong, sorry. Actually, you never find out what the department is called. Or maybe we did and I must have missed that part because I was seeing how far I could push a screwdriver into my ear before I forgot something. This organisation is made up of 4 people. Mondo, that's you, who wears a suit, probably comes from the moon, has a robotic arm that can morph shape, transform into either a powerful drill, a machine gun, or freeze ray, maybe something else, I can't really remember. Carries a katana and is an all-round ladies' man despite looking like a child in his dad's clothes. But please forget all of that because the most interesting thing about him is that he loves eating eggs. Soft-boiled eggs. Who cares about his robotic arm when we have eggs to talk about? Seriously, the game really rubs the eggs in your face. His arm is almost never talked about, but the whole eggs thing gets brought up loads. It's even explained that his annoying sidekick is only there because she cooks good eggs. Talk about egg on your face. So anyway, back to the eggs. Characters. There's Vivian, a British girl who seems to be the brains of the operation, and probably the only character that you can put up with. That is until she lifts up her arms, and instead of seeing 2 very hairy armpits, you can't help but notice 8 more arms under there. Yeah, she's actually Shiva, and again, never explained. There's Brian, who's voiced by the same dude that did Botang in Binary Domain, though there's no "that was sweet" this time. He's pretty much running the operation. And by running the operation, I mean sitting in his goddamn chair smoking cigars and letting you do all of the work. Oh, and he's half robotic. And again, we would explain this, but we haven't finished talking about eggs yet. And then finally there's Mika, who wins the most annoying shit award for being the most annoying shit. She's this hyper, over-the-top teenage Japanese girl, and she can f*** off right now. Imagine that girl from the film Battle Royale that gives the class the instructions before the game begins, but younger, way more annoying, not as hot, and several decibels louder. Everything is over-dramatised with her, and no one has the intelligence to turn around to her and go, "Mika, would you kindly shut the f*** up? When grown-ups are talking, you should be what?" You have to give credit to Mondo though. Despite bringing Mika on almost all of his missions, the first thing he does before getting to work is to get Mika to go away, by asking her to check the other side of the complex for anything interesting. Now this brings me nicely onto something that I've never understood about this game. I know I said it earlier, but I was taking the piss, but what's with Mondo's catchphrase?
The job? Killer is dead.
First of all, that doesn't make sense. That's like going, the job? A load of corpses. Or, the job? End of the month pay packet. No, Mondo, that's not a job. That's what's going to happen. Now, if he said something like, The job? The assassination of another random dickhead. Then I know where we stand, but he's constantly being sent out to make sure that that killer is definitely dead. And he says it every time, so now whenever he says it, I'm thinking, wait Mondo, wasn't that the objective of the last mission? You're not very good at making this killer stay dead now, are you? In all honesty, I shouldn't be trying to make sense of anything to do with the plot, especially when one of the department's clients turns into a bird and flies out the window the moment anyone brings up the issue of payment. The actual game is divided into 12 main missions, during which the main story progresses from doing different hits on some random dickheads, and having a nap with a nightmare thrown in, and you'll get paid depending on how well you did during each mission, even if you were having a nightmare. Yeah, that was a bit of an inconsistency when I played one of Mondo's dream missions and completed it with an A rank, and the Assassins Department paid me $500,000 for it. Yep, $500,000, and I was asleep the entire time. They have enough money to throw stupid amounts of cash at employees who sleep on the job, yet I've never seen any of the clients actually paying for a job. Or at least not in cash. The gameplay is quite basic now that I think about it. Mash the attack button and occasional dodge out the way, which if done right, will grant you a free hit on the enemy. There's also one ranged attack, I believe, which isn't that great, and some execution moves which didn't need to be there. The execution moves in, say, Bayonetta were great, because they were graphic and made you flinch no matter how many times you've seen them before. In The Job, Killer Is Dead, the execution moves aren't that great because the camera is more interested in the pattern on the back of Mondo's suit and is focused on that instead. There are boss fights in this game though, which are pretty decent. Not great, but alright. No complaints really. However, and I bet that those of you who have played this game know exactly what I'm about to talk about, but I can't finish yet without mentioning the Gigolo missions. Seriously, what the f***? You know, sometimes I really have to work hard to find something strange and bizarre to make fun of in some games, but I'm just spoilt for choice with this one. The Gigolo missions will get Mondo hitting on different girls in bars in order to get certain upgrades. If anyone has ever played the Flash game Lust for Bust, then it's pretty much that but with some pointless gift showering. Basically, what you need to do is stare at the girl's minge so hard until you can't take it anymore, then pull out a large present box from the void, or perhaps from the massive pile of presents that's just off the camera. Then she'll get wetter than an otter's pocket, regardless of what present you give her. Seriously, you can give her some shitty chewing gum and she'll accept it. But I've never understood why Mondo has to wrap it up in this massive box. Like he's gone to the store and saw the box first, spent all of his money on that and has about $2 left and gone, what can I get for $2? Then once you've thrown enough presents at her, she'll agree to sex. And for some reason, this is how you obtain heavy machinery. If that's how you obtain construction tools, then I think I've been doing it wrong all these years. Also, it amazes me that this game presumes what turns both sexes on. For women, it's getting loads of cheap shit from a dude with only one arm. For men, apparently it's staring at a girl's knickers for 2 minutes solid. And during normal missions, these girls will call you up and ask why you haven't called them at all. Why do you think? Mondo is a stereotypical womanizer. But what pisses me off the most is that he's not really. This game has forced him into that role, but it's not convincing. This game keeps making Mondo out to be this really desirable bloke, but he just looks like a teenage weed. In conclusion, I didn't think I was going to spend the entirety of this video attacking this game with a hammer, but I guess I couldn't resist. It's not all bad. The combat's alright, and the bosses are okay. This isn't a serious game, and it's not meant to be taken seriously. So with that in mind, I should be able to give this game a fair rating, and here it is. If The Job, lol, I just killed a dude, is on offer, and I mean real offer, none of that 33% bollocks, but like 80% off, proper hardcore stuff, then go for it. If it's at full price, then keep walking. And if you're a Suda fan, then buy a hard copy of this game, take it to bed and cuddle up with it, because nothing that I say will change your mind. For you, The Job, Psychopath is bleeding out and probably won't survive more than a couple of minutes, is going to be great anyway because A, Suda51 was involved, and B, it's got this art thing going on. Well, the Tate Modern has an art thing going on, and that place is shit.